Oh, hey, Mom.
As we start, alright, Barry, no more. That was a distraction, so you're one warning. So currently, Rob, Aiden, and Barry all have warnings. We worked really hard last week on quite a few. Josh, that was your warning. You focus on the math, and that's it. Anyone else who's distracting you at the front, Kaylee,
I wasn't
that was
distracted.
your warning as well. You were talking to someone else, you weren't looking at the math or at me, so it was them, thus being distracted. Don't argue, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
Focus a little better. We worked really hard last week, guys, reviewing a few different things. Number one, didn't we review graphing lines, substitution, elimination, and combining like terms? Didn't we review all the different solving things from the quiz you got back? Yes. We reviewed every single one, and there's a video showing that, and it should be in your notes. Now, it does not mean you know it perfectly, but we did review all the different problems on the quiz with equal signs. What's the one thing we haven't reviewed yet, and I was hoping we would today, but with the chapel day schedule, we'll review tomorrow, hence why I made your bonus corrections due on Wednesday. Make sure I put it away, buddy. That's what I do on Wednesday, not tomorrow. We have not been able to review the inequality graphs. The dash, the solid, we haven't been able to review those. That'll be our warm-up tomorrow. So after we review, wait, we're writing this one down, right? After we review the graphs tomorrow, then we will have reviewed every single thing on the quiz, okay? Now, that does not mean that some of you shouldn't get some tutoring from someone on your team or an older sibling or a friend in a higher math class, or come in to see me tomorrow lunch, today after school, etc. However, that does mean that we have gone over in class all of the content on that quiz yet again, and all you have to do, you don't have to take this a whole other time and do it all over again, even the ones you got right. All you have to do is figure out how to do the ones you got wrong correctly, put it on the correction paper, and turn it in to me for bonus points back. You get up to half points back. Now guys, if you do run out of correction paper, it is on the front table. There are extra correction papers, and you can grab one on your way out of the class today if you ran out of space on the old one. Sherry, real fast.
When do we get our testing system?
Sadly, we have some people that still need to take it. Jackson's been gone for a while. He's going to take it. And Tay, you're going to talk to you after class today because you were supposed to take it on Friday. Is there anyone else who hasn't taken it? I think it was just Tay and Jackson. Good. Jack already got it done. Angel. Yes. As many as you need. I don't mind. I don't mind. Front and back is okay. Do you need me? Thanks, kid. All right, kiddos. Here we are in the new section notes. Chapel day. We don't have a lot of time left, and we can go ahead and. Caleb, this is on the desk for you.
Oh, yeah.
We can cover the easy stuff of section 6.6 today. My question to you is.
Sorry, I don't know.
The quiz is already on. The bonus will get on after you guys turn it in and grade it, which can't be yet. And then the other one, I have to wait until everyone finishes taking it. However, it should be graded. I'm hoping everyone will finish taking it by Wednesday. And then that'll help your other one, hopefully. And then the bonus can help as well. You still have 2 weeks till the end of the grading period, kiddos, but some of you are desperate, or you should be desperate, or your parents are maybe making you desperate to get your grade up. I'm telling you, and I'm giving you opportunities as to how. All right, my question to you is right now, nope, any other questions you can ask me right after class or after school. Just remember them, and you can ask me. These two sets of numbers, they're technically called sequences. Sequences are numbers separated by commas. They are similar in many ways. They are different in many ways. They're similar in that they both start with, what's your numbers? 2 and 4. They are different in that 1 for the third number goes to an 8, and 1 for the third number goes to 6. What is the pattern in the second one?
She tricked us.
I did trick you. Times 2, multiplying by 2, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. But then we can go ahead and say 4 times 2 is 8. That's the only way to keep going, right? Times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2. Are they multiplying by the same number?
Yes.
Yes. What's the pattern in the first one? Plus 2. Right? As we're adding, and adding. So, they both have a constant pattern, what we would say is a constant pattern because it's the same number being added or subtracted, right? But they have two very different names. Now, I think you guys already talked about arithmetic.
Yep. Oh, wait.
And sub 1 equals
A
sub
too
1.
far, too far. Two again. So then we have two different sequences. That is kind of having to do with it, Jordan. You're right.
I thought it was because like when you find a
Alright guys, start writing word for word, arithmetic sequence. Start writing word for word. There are some formulas that go along with it, but that's a little bit more algebra to it.
but is finding the nth term.
So arithmetic sequence is the name of one of the special types. Arithmetic, think about arithmetic. When did you first learning arithmetic? Adding, subtracting?
Second grade.
Yeah, like when you were in younger elementary, right? Arithmetic is the easier of the two that we're going to see. That's not arithmetic. It's the sequence where each term is found by adding the previous term by an identical constant. Identical. That was like the example that we just saw where we had 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. This was called or is called an example of an arithmetic sequence because every time you're adding by a constant. Now there is a special name for that constant. That constant is called the common difference. Common because it's in common. Difference because to find it you subtract. Although it didn't start with 1, did it? Because 1 plus 2 is not 2. It has to start at 2 instead. Erase that 1. That was improper. The common difference has a special letter standing for it. It's okay. Let's just go ahead and prefer one another. Caleb, that's not appropriate. So common difference is called a D. Okay? It's just one of those mathematical terms. There's a special variable that's assigned the common difference. You guys can probably tell why, right? Common who? Common difference. So it's D. And what is that common difference that's being added every time in this one? Yeah. So not just, we won't just show it with a plus 2, we can also show it with a D equals 2. Arithmetic, you're adding every time. However, if you guys noticed, the title of this section wasn't arithmetic sequence. Do you remember what it was?
Geometric.
Okay, so hold on.
Geometric.
Good, thank you. If arithmetic, Dylan, keep it down, buddy. If arithmetic was adding, then what do you think geometric must be? Exactly.
What?
It's geometric.
We got it. So geometric sequence. It's like geometry, but it's an adjective. So geometric, get it down word for word. Geometric sequence. A sequence where each term is found by, it's a little harder, because geometry you guys take way later than arithmetic, right? Arithmetic, adding, subtracting, you talked about when you were in younger elementary grades. Geometry, shapes, you probably started learning a little bit later, like area and perimeter.
Oh, that was terrible.
And volume. Yeah. Now, geometry is super important, especially if you're like going to college one day and take the SAT. There's geometry on it. You're going to take a class in geometry probably next, if you can get through this one. Otherwise, you have to take this one all over again, and that's no fun for anybody. That's why we're working real hard. Algebra is required to graduate high school.
Yeah, you just have to get past this class, right?
And geometry.
Geometry.
You don't have to do
Now, in order to go to any sort of like UC school, Cal State school, you got to go to Algebra 2 as well. So we're going to keep working hard.
What about pre-calculus?
Pre-calculus looks really good, but Algebra 2 is where you
Does that
definitely
require it?
pre-calculus.
Yeah, but it's not required. It's a college course thing.
I found out that it's not that hard to get in Berkeley.
Now, with multiplying, give me 1 second, Alan. With multiplying, that would be like our example of 2 and then 4. What was the next term? Is multiplying?
Oh,
Eight.
yeah.
What was the
2,
next
4,
term?
8, 16, 32.
Okay, good.
32, 64.
We can keep on going now. Let's go ahead and pause for a second. You guys are right. The dot, dot, dot means infinite. Instead of calling this D, we're going to call it R for ratio. Common ratio. Common, because it's in common. Ratio, because you can divide the second term by the first term to find it. But we can call that times 2, we call that 2 a common ratio. And guys, this is something that will follow for quite a while, so we're building a really strong foundation hopefully for this stuff. Common ratio, we would say times 2 times 2, the common ratio R is equal to 2. It's just the way they do it in math. Now what types of things, go ahead, question, Jen.
Yeah, so what would you do to plus?
Well, you would call it that D instead for
Oh,
arithmetic.
so, okay, so if it's arithmetic, it's D, and if it's,
Yeah.
geometric, it's R?
Yeah, arithmetic is adding and it's a D. And then geometric is multiplying and it's an R. Now, let's go see what the beginning of homework questions might look like then. Let's go see what the beginning of homework questions might look like. They're going to give you something like, decide whether, it's okay, we're looking for patterns, it's all uncovered. Okay?
Is it?
Decide whether the sequence is arithmetic. Wait, is that adding or multiplying by adding? Geometric.
Multiply.
Or neither.
Neither.
Put a little question mark and say, well, who's that? Explain your reasoning. Now guys, we're going to explain out loud today, not with writing down.
Oh.
But we're looking for patterns. Some of you are really good at patterns. So let's start. Johnny, what do you see in the first one?
Neither.
Why neither?
Because it's subtraction.
Okay, that's actually a really good point. So Johnny sees a subtraction, and Johnny, what kind of subtraction? What are you subtracting the first time?
4.
What are you subtracting the next time? Okay. Now, the crazy thing is, you're totally right, it's subtraction, and we don't see subtraction up here. But I'm actually going to add a subtraction, and here's the reason why. Subtraction is the same thing as adding a negative. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Subtraction is the same thing as adding a negative. Subtraction is the same thing as adding a negative. Why is that good? Subtraction I can actually show as addition. And since it's by a constant, a common
Arithmetic.
difference, I'm actually going to call this one, can I just say A for arithmetic? I'm using the mouse today, is that alright?
Number 2 is geometric.
So Johnny, that's a really good point, and everybody else pay attention. If you're subtracting by a common ratio or by a common number, we still say it's arithmetic. It's just adding a negative. Now, real quick, what would my D equal then?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Negative 4. Now Jay, you were starting with number 2. What do you
Yeah.
see?
It's,
Times
divided by 8. No, it's not.
Times negative
It is dividing by, but I'm going to actually add dividing for the same reason
Same thing.
that I added subtraction. Dividing by 8 can be seen as multiplying by 1 over 8. And if you guys check in your calculators, and if you multiply by 1/8 or divide by 8, you would get the next term, divide by 8, the next term. But we can show it as multiplying by 1 over 8. So guys, do you see a common number being multiplied? So how are we going to name this? Arithmetic or geometric?
Geometric.
Good. Just when I have my mouse, let's go ahead and just name it G. Okay, G for geometric. And then, what's that called? Is that D or is that R?
R.
Good. So R is equal to 1/8. If they were going to ask us for what the common ratio is.
And now
Number 2 is plus 4 minus 4, but that's not something that's
no, it's
arithmetic.
Plus
3.
neither.
It's plus 4 minus 4. I mean, minus 4.
Plus 2 plus 16.
It's neither.
Oh,
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it's like plus 4 plus 4 plus 6. Do you see why this one's definitely a neither?
No pattern.
Because it's not the same. So we're going to say N for neither because they don't stay the same. That's the W, doesn't it?
Yeah.
N for neither. Okay? N for neither. Because it needs to stay the same and be in common to have one of these special names. Otherwise, it'll be a neither instead. Sorry, let's do W again. Struggle, huh?
What is it, an N?
Yes, because we have for neither. Huh? Okay. Now we have one more type of example to look at, and then guys, if you notice, that's the homework page next. So let's just check out these last 2 examples, all right? Some of you are like, how did they see the pattern? Think about, how do I go from 5 to 1, subtracting 4, subtracting 4. This one was a little bit harder, but maybe you notice 16 divided by who is 2? 1/8. And then maybe you could have tested that to say, well, what's 16 times 8? Does it work? Is it always multiplying by 1/8? And this one was a little bit easier because it was just adding. Let's go ahead and check this out. Last 2. They're asking us to write the next three terms. To write the next three terms. Now guys, why is this one not addition? Why is it not arithmetic? Hey, wait, did you notice that?
Yeah.
Addition, arithmetic, A and A, because we have a number. But it's not addition, because 1 plus 2 is
Addition
3.
and subtraction.
Yeah, it'd be plus 2 plus 6, that doesn't work.
Multiply by three.
But if you multiply by 3,
Times 3.
It's geometry.
Okay. it's geometric, R is equal to 3. How do I find the next 3 terms?
That means,
What does that mean?
Hey Warriors, it's your old pal Angela here. Just a reminder to come sign up for table reservations for the Murder and Mystery Dinner this Friday, February 10th.
Yeah.
Sign ups are today and tomorrow at lunch. Tickets cost $20. Thank you.
Guys, where are my numbers coming from up here that I'm showing?
You're multiplying.
by 3.
Good. So, you might want a calculator close in this homework, because no, doesn't dismiss, I did. Because some of the numbers might get a little bit big, but otherwise, you're just trying to find the pattern of, is it adding by a common, multiplying by a common, or not a common? And then, can you follow the pattern to keep going? Okay, I need to talk to you, so make sure you stay behind. Otherwise, Tyler, I have something for you. And if you guys have questions about makeup work, etc., you can go ahead and come to me real quick. Hold on, Caleb is first. Jordan, here's a blue note for you. Tyler, here's your.
Ow!
When you have, I thought it was for
I don't know how I go.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. Go down.
these notes will be online. Today, okay? These notes will be on my website. And you might want to talk to your coach to see if you can